Hello and welcome back to the another video of Python email automation. We have already done two videos before this on how to create the web HTML template or a responsive HTML template. This is the third and the final video where we are going to see some advanced option to create wonderful email templates. And these email templates will contain multiple images, multiple paragraphs, and these email templates will be compatible for all the devices. You can use these email templates in any of the programming language. So let me show you what we are going to see in the end of this video. So right now you can see on your screen I have a web page open, and the first part is the logo of the organization that we have created an image. I will also give you the idea how can you create these beautiful images. First part is the banner parts where we will have the main banner of our template or our content. It can be the marketing email, it can be a blog email, it can be a newsletter email, or if you are a HR or MIS executive into any organization, it can be a organizational communication email template as well. After banner, what we will see under the banner, we will have one paragraph and then we will have one button. In the next section of this template, we are going to have some team names. You can use anything here. You can use your products and the explanation of the product. And then you can create hyperlink to that products. Next, we will have one more paragraph where you can put your special product or you can put some special content of your organization. And then finally, we will have the bottom part. I will also show you how to check the email is working fine in all the devices or not. To ensure that this template is working in all the devices, we can utilize Google Chrome's resolution tool. This resolution test tool is a add-on of Google Chrome. You can right now see on your screen. I have opened that page. I will add this link in the description so that you can easily use it. And then you can check this email template response on different kind of screens that we are going to see in the later part of the video. So now let's start working on the template. I will show you all the images that I have. Here you can see all the images that we are going to use in this template, and I am going to share the folder where you can have all of these images. Now let's see the template. So this is the final template that we are going to create, and this is the initial template that I will share, and this is the initial email template that I am going to share with you. So let me show you this template. I'm going to open this with PyCharm. You can open this with any of the code editor. Why I am using this in PyCharm, because we are going to use this template with Python, but you can use this template with any of the programming languages. So here is the template for your reference. You don't have to worry about all these text because you are going to have this document with you. Let me explain you few part of this. So we are going to have the style part where we will declare the HTML CSS classes. After that, we are going to have one table. Please note that inside table we are going to have multiple tables. So it is going to be the nested table layout. In the nested tables, we can easily control templates, width, expandation, and collapsion of the templates. First of all, on the top we will have blue border, as you can see here also. After blue border, we are going to have one logo and the social media column. So this is in a different column of table. This is in a different column of table. And then in the next column, we are going to have the top banner image. So this will be the column plus in separate table where we will have this only this image. And then the next section where we will have one title and some text like this. Then again we will have one border. We will have one more section where we will have three different tables. and you might see these as the column, but these all are the tables that we are going to see in some time. The purpose of keeping multiple tables is to control the design. And after this, we are going to have one more section where we will have two different columns. This is the one column and this is another column, and these both the columns are into different tables. And then finally we will see the footer section. All right. So let me give you some idea how can you create images. From here I have created these images. So what you can do is, so this one I have already done. This one I have already done. The first thing that you can do is like you can right click, you can click on your content, you can write any content first, and then you can go on designer. This designer is going to suggest you different kind of designs. Like this, you can see this is a different design. You can take the screenshot and then you can create the image out of it, and this is a different design, right? If you want to play more around with this, then you can just go into design tab, change it from here, and then you can again just see the changes are applied to all, and then you can go again to designer, click on this, you will have more images like this. Addition to this, I will come to the last one, and let's say if you want to add some of icons. Inside icons, what you can do is you can search. There are different images. So if you want to search for players, so you will have some content of the players. You can search some of the icon like email. If you want to see some specific people, so these people images you can use, videos, cartoons. So there are multiple things that you can use in your templates. All right, designer and icon will make your templates better if you have good images, your images. All right. So now we will see how to write the HTML. So in the end of the video, I am going to explain the entire HTML to you. Now let's have a look on the template. So here I am back to my code editor. We are going to cover this entire table inside one wrap class. For that, I will add this class name here and we will see the definition of this class very soon. I have closed the tab, and then the topmost element is going to be the border. So here is the code for border. And then the next thing is that for all of these sections, we have to create a different data row. Inside that, we might create different tables. But the first thing is that we have to create different data rows. So for a social media container, we have to have one table. So here is this. For banner image, we don't require the table. We require only the data row. We will see as we go, like if we have to change these things or not. And then we have the title, text, and button paragraph you might have seen just under the image. Okay, so this is the banner image that I am talking about. Just under this, we have a title and some paragraph and one button. For that also we need the table because we have to keep three different elements. So here I have added one more table. Now borderline. So for borderline, we have to again copy this. We can copy the same thing. If you want to adjust the height or the color, you can adjust as per your requirement. And then three label container, which is again this part. So we need different tables because we have to keep three different elements. But we will right now we are going to see the table only for the main area, this entire area. Okay, so further part will come inside this. Now again the border. Here is the border once again. After border we have one two section area, which is this area, and inside this we have a separate image, and in this we have three different elements. One is title, paragraph, and button. So we will require tables in future. Right now we are going to just take one additional data row and table inside that. So here we go. Again we have the border, and after that we have the footer section. Before I am adding the code for footer section, let me add this border first. For footer section also we have to add multiple elements, so we will require a table ultimately. We will require a table in the end. Here I have added that footer table as well. Let's save and check how is the content as of now. So right now we can only see the header, maybe all the borders, that's it, nothing else. Maybe all the borders we can see and there is nothing else. Let's close this window now. On the top in the first part, that is social media and banner. Just a little change, we have to take this social media inside this content itself, and this end of social media will also come inside this td. So inside this table we have to add another row. Inside another row we have to add another data column, and in that data column we have to add one more table. So here I have added one more table, and we have these classes, two columns, and these classes are going to be repeated multiple times in this entire HTML code. Now inside this table we have to add one more row, one more table, one more data, and then we have to add an image. Here I have added the new row as well. We'll minimize this part so that you can clearly see the code on your screen. So let's go and refresh the page and check if there is something added. So we have this logo added here. Now we have to write few CSS for these two columns class, this columns class, and for one more class that we have used, that is the wrapper class. So let's move to the CSS area, and here under this I will add new class, that is wrapper class. So in the wrapper class we are adding the 100% width, background color, and then we are adding 40% padding on bottom. I will add one more CSS class here, that is main class. I will add one more class, that is main class. Then and this main class would be applied on the main table. So I am passing a background color so that it is overriding the device default color or any other color that is already available. We are keeping the width as 100%, and then we are defining the maximum width at 600 pixels. As of now we are not taking any border spacing, but maybe in the child elements or in the child tables we can apply some other style that will be applicable to that particular element. Then I am defining the font family and the color of the font here. All right. Now let's see the two column class and column class. So if you don't have the understanding of nested CSS classes, this is two columns class. Inside this two columns class, we are just defining the text align center and font size 0 as of now. And inside this two columns class, dot columns we are using with a space. So whenever inside a element that is already having the two columns class, any element that is having columns class, this will be applicable only on that element. Okay, what we are doing here, we are taking the maximum width of that particular element as 300, and we are displaying inline blocks. So I am going to explain you and show you in the template, how it will happen. Let's go to the HTML now. So I am going to add this table tag here to close the table. So inside this TD, we are going to add one more table for social media logos. So here I have added one table and the table row. Now we have to add table data. Inside this table data, we have to add one more table. This table data will have class as columns, and this table will have the class as so now inside this we will have all the images available. So we have already seen the definition of these two columns and columns. So again we have to take one table row. Inside this we have to take a td tag style. So I am applying some padding, and then inside this we are going to add all the social media logos. So let me show you this table which we have just added, and this table is inside this first td. Okay, so let's go and check the template now. How does it look? So you can see it is coming better now. So we have all the social media. So we have all the social media logos also available here. I just have to correct this image. So after these logos, the next is that we have to add the banner image, which is this image. So banner image is considered in a different data row altogether. So one data row is closed here, one data row is here. After ending this data row, we have to add the banner image. So if you want, you can just collapse your code and see. And then we have to just scroll down to the top banner image data row. And then we have to add that banner image here. Okay, so we have made that image as the hyperlink. So let's go and refresh the page. So we have this image added, let's say, and the border also on the bottom. If you want to add the border on top of this, so what you have to just do is go in this code, take that border code from top, that is easiest, and on top of this you can add one more border if you want. Now you will be able to see the clear separation of the top part and the banner. So let's refresh this once again, and you have one more border added here. The final design will depend upon you, so how you want it. After border, what is next? This template, if we come and see, we have to add this text part and the button part. Alright, so this button, if you can see on your screen, is inside the image itself. It is not a separate button. So when we have created the image, that time only we have created the button here. So this entire, okay, so you click anywhere on this, you will reach on the given address. And this is a separate HTML button. Okay, so we will see how to make it and how to modify the CSS class for this. So we are back here. Top banner image we have added. Now we have to come out of this row. And the next row is to add button paragraph under main banner. Alright. So here we already have a table. What we have to do, we have to just add one data row. Inside that data row, we have to write the entire content, because if you notice we don't have any separate columns here, we have only one row. So I will just paste the entire code to save time. I just have to make these changes. Alright, but now we have to see how is this button class written. Add the button class in CSS CSS part of the file. So I just want to make this separate. So here is the button class. We have added the background color, and the text color is this. Text decoration, padding for the text, and font weight, and then the border radius. So we have added this. Now this content is added. I will just save this. We will go and we will see the updated result. How's the updated look of this page? So we have this section coming in. We have this button. Again, if you want to add the separation here, you can add one more border. So, so I will take the border code. Just now we have pasted few lines back. Maybe this border we can keep little thin size. So we will take 3, height as 3, table row height as 3, and let's come down after this row. So on bottom we already have a border. On top of it also we just wanted to add. So here we go, and this we will make 3. So all are looking as same. Now I am sure it should look better. So we have this added here, and here also we have. So you can apply your own style. I'm just trying to explain as much as I can. So just under this we have next section, that is the 3 column section. That is the 3 column section. In this 3 column section, I have taken a different way of adding the style. Okay, so let's see how to create this 3 column section and add these all boxes with description and title. So I'm coming on the three table three table container section now. So this 3 table container section, we already have a table. Inside this table, we have to create one more table data. So I will start from here, table row, and then we have to have one table data. And inside this table data, we will have all of those 3 different columns or the 3 different containers as a separate 3 tables. So here for this TD, we have to apply a class, and that class will be 3 column like this. And inside this, and this table will have a class 3 column. So 3 column is basically the 3 column class is here. Inside this there is another column which is as the table element. So for that we have added this class. Now these 3 tables will be repeated. I will write the content inside these 3 different tables. So you just have to focus on this. All right. I am going to write the code in first section, and then we can just repeat the same code in all the sections or in all the tables. And then we will require one more TD. So like this it will go. Here we will have one more class. So for all the boxes, we have to add some of the padding. For that, we have to declare a class because we are going to repeat these sections three different times. Now we have to add the image, the first image. For that also, we are going to use a separate table. Here is the table, and the class that we will apply to this table is the content. So inside this three column content, what I will do is I have to add two rows and td. Here we will have image, and after this row, so let me just add the image first of all, and after this in the same table which is for the content, we have to add one more table row that will be for the title and the paragraph. All right, so here is the table row. So I have taken this team name one, and then I am closing the paragraph here. For this paragraph, I have applied one style. If you want, you can create another CSS class and then you can apply that class here if you don't want to apply the style directly in the tag. So let's just refresh the template and see what is added. So if you can see here, the team name is here, paragraph is here, and the team image is here. You can have anything here. You can use your product or you can use some information, any image or any content that depends upon you. Now, why this is not coming properly? Because we have not yet created the classes which we have applied here. And before we create classes, let me just show you what we are going to do. So what we have to do is simply we just have to take this column after this, the table. So it will be closing somewhere, and then we have to just copy this, paste this table three times from here till here. I will copy, and then I will paste this three times. One, enter. Sorry, we have to paste this two more times. So we have already applied CSS classes to this content. Now we have to write the code for those CSS classes. So classes which are there, first class is three column, and three columns column, three column pending, and three column content. So I am back to the style section. I will enter here. Now first of all we will write three column class. So in three column class we just wanted to align the text to the center, and font size we wanted to keep 0 so that the child element font size is getting applied. If you want, you can apply the same thing, the nested classes, as we have applied in two columns here. So two columns dot columns, but just to explain with another way, I have taken different classes. So we have three columns here, three column here, and then three columns column here, and you can apply this class anywhere. It is not a nested class, so this is a different CSS class altogether. All right. Now the third one is three column padding. Three column padding, we are just taking the padding 10 px. If you want, you can apply more padding and then you can check the result. You can increase the padding from here. I will show you once. right? And the final one is content. So if we just refresh now and see, so you have this, but still you cannot see the paragraph content. So to get the paragraph, what we have to do is we have to apply this content class. And in the content class, we have just passed the font size 12 and we have passed the line height as 15. Now let's go and check. So you have the paragraph also available now. Only thing that we have to do is we have to change the content inside these columns now. So before that if you want to check with more padding, then how will it react? Let's see. So I will make this padding as 20 pixel, or let's say 40 pixel. Save, refresh. So you can see the 40 uh, pixel padding is resulting like this. I will change that back to 10. Team 2, team 1, team 3. These are the simple names. So I will just change the name. Three column section we have to go. This is team 1. Here I will change to team 1. For team member 1. Alright. Image we don't have to change because by default it is 1. Now you can come down into this section. You can just change this to team 2. You can add your alternative text, and you can change this content also. So you can add the link here in href. Okay. Here we will change the title team 2, or team member 2. I'm just simply trying to explain with examples. Team member 3, we have to change 3 here, and we for team mem 3. In href you can give any link. So right now I have not given any link here. You can add your own link. So let's go and check the result now. So let's go and check the result now. Just refresh it. Not this one. This is the template. So you can see I have added the text and we have this output here. You can add more CSS to it. You can justify this text. So how to justify the text, I will leave it on you. You can try yourself. Now next is that we have to add this two columns. So this is one column and this is one another column. So we are going to add this now. So here it is, the three column is adding and the blue order is coming once again. So I will reduce the height to 3 as we have been doing. So first thing I am going to add one table row here, and then we need a table data, and then we need a table Here we have to apply class two columns last. So we have two sections which have two columns. This table will also have a class that is columns. We have to take one more table for content. So inside this we will have table row. We will have table data. So this will be the final content tag. This 3D we have to apply a class that will be padding, which we have already written. Now in this final content, we have to add the final table for this section. So here is the final table. As I said earlier, like I am going to show you the entire code once again, so you don't have to worry about these nested elements right now. We have a bottom banner, all right, and this table which is columns, we can copy and then we can use the same code to write the title and the text. So I am just going to copy this table that is and paste under this table. What we have to do is we just have to change the content of this TD. We are applying the paragraphs here. So paragraphs style you can see, and what I have written in the paragraph is also here. All right, and then we already have a button class that we have created. We are applying that button class here. Just you can see the table till end. I will save the content. Let me refresh the page. So we have both the things, but we have not yet written the class. So but we have to write the CSS definition or CSS code. Okay, so which classes we are using here? Two columns, last columns and padding. So let's see how to write that. I will go to the CSS style section. We will add those classes here. So two classes dot last. Since we are using in the same element, so there is no space. No, there is no space I have given. Inside two columns last, we are using padding also. So this padding will be only applicable inside the two columns, inside those elements which comes under the two columns class elements. Okay, now the last thing that we have is content. So here we goes for the we go for the content. We have the line height 14, font size 12, and then we are aligning the text in on left side. But this will be applied only to those elements which comes under the two columns content. All right, I'll just save it. Let's go and refresh now. It's come very well. Yes, you can change the text and you can add more CSS to look it better. Now let's add the next part, which is the bottom part. I have I am back to the code. Keep going down. Border we already have it. We are in the footer section now. So in the footer section, we can apply most of the things from the top section itself. We just have to change the color for now, and you might add some more decoration or some more CSS to make it to look it better. So inside this table, we are going to add one more table row. We will have TD. We have to apply some style, and then we will have one hyperlink with image. So we have bottom border banner.png, and after this we will have to add some text. Let's say, for example, so we have added one paragraph and one more paragraph here, and just below to this we will have all those images that we already had on the top logo section. So we can copy the data from there. I will just align this back, copy the code here, go to bottom into our paragraph section. All right, and below to this we can have some more text. If you want to add, you can add a button as well here. Button class we have already written. I will just save it. So let's go and refresh the page to check the output. Yes, we have the bottom added. These things are not coming properly because now we just have to change, we have to add a little bit more style to change the look. So I will go here, and in this table data we just have to apply one background and the color. Let's go and refresh it back. All right, yes, so we have it here. If you want, you can apply more CSS styles. If you want this register now to change to a button, you just have to change the, so we will go and we will check this element. So if you see, you just have to change the style like this. I will keep both. You can keep only one element. All right. Let's refresh finally. So I think this is the final template. You can see that we have done all of this. I just, if you want this, so if you will change the image, it is going to be automatically changed. So let me show you how to change it, and you will also understand how to apply, how you can create the images for your template yourself. I will go to this one. We will see design, and then we will just take this white. Maybe this white is better. And then I will go for colors. I can go to designer. I would like to keep something white because we have the content as white. And then I will just change the font color here. All right. I will just take a screenshot, increase the zoom, or you can just run this slide. In Windows, the shortcut is F5. Take a screenshot of this. Use Paint. Use Paint or any other image editor that you are comfortable with. image and you can save this image. So this is our logo. We just select this so that it is saved the same name and save it. We just want to replace the existing. Now let's go and refresh. You can see this now, and we have changed the image successfully. So this is how you can change the image, and I will as I and now let's have a look on the final template. So this is the final outcome of the HTML code. Logo section, banner section, text button and title section. You can change the style, maybe apply a little bit smaller font size. This is the three column section. So these are three different tables inside three different columns. And finally, we have this two column section, two different content in two different columns. That is also inside tables. And this is the bottom section. All right. So we have successfully created the email template. Now we will see how to use this template inside the email. All right. So let's go ahead and see that. So when we are working with email templates and we are creating the email templates for different kind of email clients, we have to remember like the email client should have the access for the image. There are two different ways which are mainly used. Either you have the internet link of that image, or you are attaching that image in email and then using in the email body as object. So in this video, we are going to cover both the scenarios. So when we will create HTML template for Gmail, at that time we will use link of the images, and those images will be loaded when email body is opened. This will be the one way. So when we will modify this template for Outlook, that time we will add image as a attachment in the email. From there, we will access the email directly in the email body. So we are going to create two different templates now. We will do some changes for Gmail and we will do other changes for Outlook. Why I am not trying to attach the images for Gmail template? Because most of the time Gmail will not read the image object from the attachment to body. So that is why keeping the image on internet and then using the link in the HTML template is the best practice if you are creating the template keeping web client in your mind. So let's get started. First of all, so I am going to upload this folder in my Google Drive. So here I have already uploaded the images and I can go to this folder. Okay, so I have these images loaded. From these images, what we have to do is we have to get the link, and then we have to change the access here to anyone, and then we can copy the link to a notepad. So same thing I have done for all the images here, and I have noted everything on a notepad here. All right. So once we have noted down the URL for all the images, we have to create one more link, that is the export link, because we have to export the image from drive to template. So to export the link, you can use this URL, this piece, and then after you can add ID. So where is the ID? To get the ID, you have to just take the part from D till here. So you will see D in URL, and after D there will be a slash. After slash, before view. So before view, there is another slash. You have to take this entire piece and you have to paste after this equal sign here. And these URL we are going to use in template. All right. So I have done same thing for all, taken the ID and then created a export URL. So Google Drive export URL I have created. And this everything we are doing because I don't have any space in internet, if you have your web address registered or you have any domain available, you can directly upload a folder there and you can access from there. You will not have to upload your images on Google Drive. This is just for example. All right, so start using these links from here. So at the same time, when we are changing the image URL, the same. So when we are changing the image URL, the same time you can have a look on entire template from start till end. So this is till line number 20. I will come down from 20 till line number 30. These are the CSS classes that we have already used, and I'm sure that you are aware of it. All right. From line number 40 to 60, you can see here. From 61 till 77, you can see here. 78 to 97. All right. So now style part is over, and we are inside the template body. There are 22 warnings. I will just clear those warnings. This is a small mistake we might have done on multiple times. So we have to add content here also. Okay, now we have only 15 more warnings. So there is some empathy tag. So these are all typos. Oh, we don't have to use comma. So and we are moving one by one from everywhere. All right, I think we are good now. So let's get back to the head part. We have already seen the CSS, and now from head we will start. So as we have just already typed this entire template, so I'm not going to explain much, rather I will just show you the template. So I have just decreased the font size so that you can see the entire code in one go. So now we have cleared all the warnings as well. So you can see the code from line number 100 till line number 120. So in this in line number 122, we can see the top logo.jpg, and then we can take the URL. So we are not going to use this direct URL. We are going to use this export URL, and you can use as, and I am repeating again, I have kept on Google Drive just for the example of this email template. Now when we will come down from 120 till here, these are the Facebook, Twitter and Instagram images. So in this email template we are going to use, so now we are just going to add the export URL for this image. Facebook, it should go here. I will delete this existing URL from this email template. I will add, this is for Instagram, and in the alt text you can write anything whatever you feel to write, whatever you wanted to show in your email template if image is not displaying in the template. Okay, so now I will just move up. from line number 140, or maybe the end of the template now, 145. And then we have this border that you have already seen. This style, this is the banner image. Banner image is the main image. So this is the banner image. And now we have the URL for banner image also. Main banner image here. I am just changing the source of this banner image that we have used in our web email template. Okay. So I hope you have noted the code. Right. Then again we are using the border after the image. So we will not do any changes here. I'm expanding these style text so that you can see the text and you can apply that style. Okay. All right. We don't have any image to be used here till line number 190. You can pause the video and have a look on the code. Now I will come down. Again we are using the border, and then now we are in the 3-column container section. In 3-column container section we have this style, and we are using images as well. So this is the team 1 image. I just have to correct this. Okay, so now we have to correct this typo. There are some typos, so let's check one by one. So this is the first one. Radius spelling is incorrect. All right. So team member 1 URL is here. We will use this URL and we will replace this part. You can note the code that we are adding one more table here. As we have already seen everything, we are just revising now so that you can correct if there is any mistake which you have done. We'll expand these style tags. We don't have any image here. We have next image. We don't have any image, but you can just see the code. I will stop on 231. We have another image here. This is the repeated code we have copied and pasted from image 1. I will come down from line number 251, and we have image 3 here. Changing this URL as well. Now we are down. So I'm just holding the code for some more moment. Line number 275 I will hold once again. Now from line number 290, I'm just closing all the tags. I think this table was not required, but we can just delete this from here. From 292 you have the further code here. Continue writing. And now we are adding the border under the three column section. So taking you back on the template keep connected. So here we are using these three columns in this email template. Right. So now so in the email template, after this three column, we have two column sections. So one column is utilized for displaying one image and another column is to write some of the details. All right. Now let's come on the two column section. You can just focus on this table from here till here, but you have to write the entire code. So I'll just take two or three lines down. Okay, this table row will be closed after the section. And we have here the banner image. So bottom banner. Let's go and get the URL for the bottom banner. So it is the two column left image. I think this is the URL. Okay, now let's come down. So this is the right hand side part of the web email template where we are writing some details about our product or anything, whatever you want as per your email template requirement. I will now come down from this 350 row. Now we are here once again. So here if you want this bottom banner .png, so bottom banner is URL wherever we are doing. So I am just showing this CSS for the template. Now it is done here. Okay. So we have seen the entire HTML code plus we have added all the images now. All right. Now only thing that is left is that we have not yet added these URLs here. So what we can do is we can go to top. We will just copy this entire section, these all four links from here. And if you want to go up quickly on the bottom, and paste here. All right. So now what we have to do is, okay, so now let's go and check after refreshing the web page that these images are loading successfully or not. So I'll just refresh it from here. So it will take little time to load. So we have done some mistake. That is the reason this image is not loading. Okay. So team 3, we have to go there. Team 3. So here is the team 3. Oh, so you see this JPG should not be there, I guess. So save and let's refresh once again. So you might have noticed that these images were square before. Now these images are in circle because we have corrected the typo error in border radius. If you want to remove the radius, you can just change the pixel size from here. All right. So I think we are good. Everything is superb. Only thing is this subscribe now button is, and we have to correct this. So let's see where it is. So this TD should be closed uh, in the end, not here. Okay, so just Let's go back and refresh now. So it is all perfect. Now we will go in the code, and I am using Python here, but you can use C Sharp, you can use UiPath, Automation Anywhere, any web API to use this template. So here is my code, and in here, these lines are not required. These lines are for Outlook, because in Outlook we have to add the attachment. So I am just disabling these lines, and then I will just change web client template, and I will also change my file name here, like web template. We can directly use this file from here. Folder path is already available. So my folder path is quite long because my template is in different folder and my code is in different folder. If you are using in the same folder, you just have to give the file name. So first attempt we are using for Gmail and basically web client. Let's open Gmail here. So I have opened my Gmail, but I will show you once we have the template available. And mail.send will send the template. So let me just quickly take you through this code. This is the So let me take you through this code. You can use any programming language as I just said, but we are using the Windows Win32 client. You can use SMTP client also, and then we are creating one Outlook instance, creating one email item, and then we are sending the I am sending the email to myself. You can use your from to ID here, and then it is the template path. Once we are reading the template, we have to assign that to a variable as text, and then mail.html body equals to that text. So like this template will go. I will run this now. Email is sent. Let's go to the Gmail. So here you see these images are loading now one by one. Okay, now let's see this template. Come down. You have this. The only button text is not come properly. You can I will leave that to you. You can try some CSS and then you can try to change this color. Okay, now we will move to the next part, like how to use this template for Outlook. Okay, so I will first go to the code and then I will explain. So in Outlook, we will use all the files. I will enable this code. I will explain this to you. I will enable this code. So we are going into this folder in our system, and then we are adding all as the attachment. From the attachment, we will read. And the second point is like, so in Outlook objects, you cannot apply the CSS as good you can apply in web clients. In Outlook, you cannot apply the CSS as good as you can apply in web clients. So for that CSS, we have the another method. All right, so let's start and modify this template for Outlook now. Other than Outlook, this template, which whatever we have done so far, will work for all the clients. And we will also see in the end, like how can you check this. So how do you check the size or resolution for different screens, mobile screen, tab screen, or the computer screen using Google Chrome screen use resolution tool. So that we will cover in end. So if you see the same email template that we have just seen in the Gmail client or the web client in the Outlook client now, so I will show you the output. So you can see the image size is going here and there. All right. So CSS is not, and you see the buttons, everything is like out of control, and we see these images also not working properly. So what is the reason for this? So the reason is same as we have just discussed, like Outlook will not accept the CSS. So for that, the solution is using VML. So let's see what is VML. So whenever you see like the web email template is not working in Outlook, or web email template is not giving the desired result in output, or then you can come and have a look on this VML, vector markup language. So you can use these links that I will drop in description to understand more about VML. All right, so let's see few examples that we have used in this video. So this part that you can see right now on the top of the screen, that is for the image. So whenever you are using a image anywhere in the email template and you want to use that web template for Google, for Outlook, at time you have to use this image, and this is how you have to pass the image. Second is like you have to use some text. So this kind of code you can write in VML. In some time we will see how to use this inside the template actually. And for buttons, so for buttons what we do is we create the rectangle and then we apply some CSS into that rectangle, but that also we do using VML. This MSO code, this MSO was missing, but we have to change the URL for all the images because we will be using directly images here. We will not be using the links. So for this image source, we have to change this back. You can just click here and select the entire, and the we will just use the name of the image. We will not be using the path because these images will come as attachment. And on this image, we are not applying the VML object because the look of this image is fine. So it is not required. But the name of the image when we will attach the image will be top logo PNG. So we can just directly write the name here. So we can just directly write the name here, top. These images are also working fine. So we'll just change the name. For example, I want to show that all the images we can attach in the email, and then from there we can read directly even if images are not available on web. Let's see the name of these images. Okay, so here I have added all the image names directly. Repeating it again that if you want to use it from web you can use because images are looking fine there. There is no problem. But just for example, I am using directly from attachment. All right. Now let's come down, and this is the top banner image, which is the main image and creating the issue right now. So if you see the width of this image is the problem for entire template. Now what we will do is we will just go and take this code from here for images. All right, and we will just, and this href link also will not work. So for that we have to modify everything in VML code to make this template working in Outlook also. I will delete this, and I have pasted this part here. So you can see right now on your screen, and style I have applied here inside the VML object. To use the hyperlink within Outlook, you have to use this href inside the VML rectangle itself. All right. One more thing, like the pixel size which is applied in VML is different from the HTML. So right now, if we apply the same pixel 600 will not work. It will be very thin here, and height we might keep 600 itself. And image name we have to change here. We have to use the same image. Image name we have to give. Image name is main banner PNG. And we don't, this stroke is used as the border. Okay, so we don't want this stroke, but it's still. And now I have saved this. Just let's run this and see in Outlook. I will change this template, email template for Outlook. And I hope you understood this code. We are looping on each file and adding that as attachment. I will change this name. It's just Outlook. Run the code once again. Responsive HTML template for Outlook. There is a small mistake. Oh. So the subject will be corrected from next time. Now let's have a look on this email that we have just now received. So you can see the size, the total size of this entire body is 600 pixel. Same size we have given to this VML object also, but this is not applied on this because the VML follows the different pixel size. On there might be some other reason, but let's correct this right now. So I'm going back to the, I will change this to 700 and change this to 1000 pixel. And you might have noticed one more thing, like there is a border kind of thing is coming in. So just to remove the border from the VML object or to ignore the border around the VML rectangle, what we can do is stroke equals to false. Save it. Let's run this once again. Done. Now let's go here and check for the email subject responsive HTML email template for Outlook. Open it. So you see the template is fit now. All right. Now we will move in the next section, this section, how to correct this button. So let's get back to the template. Come down. I'm not doing any changes in this one, but I will just expand these tags once again. If you have seen this video from start, you will be aware of all this. And now we just have to create this button which is not coming properly in the template. So let's go back to this one and we will come down. Just move this here. You can have a look on the CSS that we have written for this button. Text decoration, font weight, and I have applied the font weight here also. So if you want to remove this one, then also this should work fine. All right, so this code, this VML HTML code is to add the button in Outlook HTML mail body. Now let's run this and check result. I will go in Outlook and we will wait for the email subject responsive HTML template for Outlook. So new email is received. Let's go and have a look on the button. So we have added the button successfully and it is looking fine. Hyperlink is also available. So now if you want to apply the VML font style on this part, you can use that. I will be doing for other parts, so you can use the same example for this one also if you want. So now in this HTML template, we have the next section as, so now let's go and see in the browser what is the next section. So after this, we have the next section as these three team names. So it is coming like round here because we have applied the radius, but Outlook will not support radius. So these images will come square, or you have to just cut the image in circle. Okay, and if you notice the layout, this is the one row. In one row, there are, if you can see, three different columns if we want to use that. And then again, there is one row we can consider, and then we can use three different columns just under that. We have so many tables and table data in our template because we have done that for other email clients. So if you want, what you can do is, let me show you this style, and what we can do, we can just, so I will select the content from this table tag. So, so I will just show you now the updated code is like this. Now inside this table, we have to add two different rows as per the design, and in each row there will be three different columns. If you want, you can apply these kind of methods to the other images also that we have already done. So this code I have just created for those theme images only. So what I will do is I will copy from here, and we need first row. So in the first row, we need three table data. One more table data is required. Okay, I will just give some space for variation, for differentiation. And you can see it now here. And now here inside this, we will add that VML code to display the images in Outlook web email template. And as per the design, this width of 180 pixel will not be sufficient. So we will change this to 30. And then now we can use the same code and paste in the next TD tag. Paste once again in the next TD tag. And then just change the image. Here, theme 3. Theme 2. Alright. So now in this, under this row, we will require, so we have created 3 TD in one row. We require one more row so that we can add the text. Alright. So let me just add one more row here. 3 TD and then 3 TD. 1 table data 2 here, table data 3. So inside this table data, the text will come, title and the text, that is under theme image. So for that also I have already created the code. Just to save the time, paragraph, you can pick up the code from here and go inside first TD of the second row, same as the one, same as the image width. We have to delete this, copy this, And just in the next, change the team member to 2 just to show the variation. One more time we have to go. Third one. Paste that here also. And here you can just change to member 3. This text you can change as per your requirement. I have just taken this for example. Now one more thing, like this, in this table row, what we have to do is we have to apply center. The reason to apply center is like image size might be up and down, but those images should always be in center of the row. Okay, now in the second row also we will do same thing. Just before closing the row, we have to close the center also. And after adding center, we have to add class 3 column also so that the margin is applied to all the table data once again. Not to the closing. And in the second row also we will add this same class. So we have applied to all the TD tags, table data tags. We will just have a look on the class definition. So let's see if we have to change something there. 3 column. So this is the 3 column class. We have just changed this to 10. It was 30 before and 15. I will keep this also as 10. Bottom and top. Let's try to run the code once again and see if there is some improvement in the template. Code is run. I will go to my Outlook and wait for the email with subject responsive HTML email template. We have received the updated email. Yes, so we have images also in center, text also center, and some margin also added on the top. Now we are in the next one, that is 2 column section. So if you go to the original template, under this 3 column we have this 2 column section. Now we have to work upon this. First of all, I will come down in that 2 columns section. So this is 3 column section. blue border and two column section. In two column also we will do the same thing, like we will remove the entire definition that is inside table row, and we will write the code once again. So I will delete this, so we have a table and we have one row, and we don't need two rows in this because we have to write the data in same row, but we have to add two table data tags. So td I will use, and then I will use the VML code for image. Here we go. And I want to keep the width as 495 pixel because we have main banner was 1000 pixels. So we are taking almost half of the height, half of the width, and then height I will take 450. After this TD, we have to add one more TD in which we have to write the text. So to write the text, I will again go back to the VML code that I am using in this HTML template, and I will just change the height and width of the rectangle. Same width I will keep 495, 495, and height also 450 pixels. Okay, and you can write more and more text here as per your requirement. Some more text can come here. All right. And then in the main template, just under this, there is a read more button as well. So if you want to add the button here, you can add here in this uh, data tag itself. So we will just hit enter. And for button, we have already created this VML code. I will copy, and then I will just paste here. We might require a center tag once again. And just change this to read more. You can apply more. This is not required because we have already used font weight bold here. Okay, so I think it should be done now. Let's run the code once again and check the updated output. So I am waiting for the email with updated HTML template. We have received the email. Let's open it. And let's check for the button and section. Also, we missed to change the image name here. I will go in the image that should be there is bottom banner.jpg. So I will just take the name. Here it is. And then I don't want any stroke on this, so I can just remove. And here also I have to add stroke is equals to false. So stroke equals to false is used to remove the default border around VML objects or VML rectangle. And this width also we have to change. So let's run and see the updated result of the template. I will go to Outlook. So here is the latest email. Let's open, check. Yeah. So height looks little more, so you can just adjust the height, but other things are same, and you can add some more text here for better look. And if you want to change the font size, you can try yourself. I will go in the next section. So here we have to add those images. And when I am going to next section, I will change the height. I will keep 400. 400, and in the next run we will check the result. All right, come down. We are in this section now. So I am not doing much changes in the bottom section. What I will do is I will just add the image here. And this section we will copy from the top, the upper part which we have just done a few minutes back. Here it is. And then come down. Just align this so that it is code is looking good. And then if you want to change, so we had utilized button class to create this as button, but if you want to use button here, you just have to delete, and you have to copy the code for button here. Okay, so let's run this once again and see the updated result. I will go to my Outlook and check if, and let's see what are the changes in the template now. So we have received the email. The only thing that we might have to change is the font color. So for that you can just here, Select the color, font size, maybe 20 px. We can apply same thing here as well, but font size 10 px. Let's run this, maybe the final time. Now I am waiting for the email with the updated template. Once again, everything looks fine. Fine in Outlook, looking fine, not as great as in Gmail. Here also things are fine. Okay, so only thing is this register now. You can just apply the same class as we have, and you can see the template is working quite better in Outlook as well. Alright, so hope this video was useful for you. I will be doing more videos. In the next video, we will explain how to apply and how to change the data, the HTML data for different customers. And before I end the video, let's have a look on this Outlook code as well, the entire template. CSS part anyways, I am going to share. This is very simple. If you want, you can remove. And I will come down from row number 30. So most of the CSS will not be applicable for Outlook. We have already seen this in the web part, but still, if you are interested, you can have a look. Otherwise, you can just forward the video quickly. Row number 50 to row number 70. Now row number 70, row number 71 to row number 90. And row number 90 to 100 is the style, and from 103 we are starting body. Here you go, we have just changed the image and there is no URL because we will be reading the image from the email object itself. Alright, 128 to 146. We have added these social media images. Style, if you want to see, this is the border. Now 168. I will go up 168 to 188, 188 to 208. You can keep pausing the video as your requirement. And from 208 till 230. And you have seen this entire code how we have written, and I will be sharing the files also. Alright. You can try few CSS and few of the changes from your side so that you can learn more. From 244 to 266. You can pause video here. And from 266 to 285. 285 to 300. From 300, I will just take it on top. And we are in the two tables section, 335, 335 to 357, and I think this should be the last one. No, we have one more, 357 to 378, and from 378 till 397, one more time we have to go. This is the final border. All right. Even though it was very lengthy video, but I hope you could learn a lot out of it, and you will be able to make these kind of templates now and utilize those templates in your emails and modify those templates. Thank you very much for your time.